say about music? I mean, it's not. God, I mean, it's just music.
You can't hold it.
It's just music. It's not tangible.
It's not real. It
Hi,
doesn't
everybody.
exist.
Thanks for joining us today on the virtual lounge. That's what we decided to call it, and I'm still sticking with it. I like it. It's a good name.
I think it's a fantastic name, personally. Me, personally, I'd like to welcome you to the virtual
Who
lounge.
are you?
I'm Max.
I'm
your
Devin,
best
I
friend.
guess.
I've known you for over a decade.
I'm Devin,
more.
and I'm still sick, so please excuse my voice. That's because we recorded all these in one day. It's the same day.
I gotta take a poop, so let's get on with this.
All right, so what is your runner-up, second favorite album of music in 2017? I wonder if I've listened to the same music you've listened to. We'll see.
Probably not. This is
boy.
probably. I don't have one specific runner-up. I have a couple. Only a good handful of albums have gone into my serious rotation. And most of my music rotation is when I'm listening at home or I'm listening in the car. A lot of it ends up being old albums that I really love. So when I discover new albums that really appeal to me, it's always a really big deal because I can get into this and I can enjoy myself listening to it in the car or at home or whatever. Some of those albums this year, the vaporwave artist Christ, spelled with three crosses instead of a T, put out Social Justice Whatever, which is basically a meme.
That was a trip.
It's just a big meme album with if you grew up with the early days of the internet and
you're the man now, dog. YouTube poop.
The early to mid 2000s with that very early online YouTube 4chan culture, then this is the meme album.
It's a ride.
There's a whole video mix to go along with it that he's made. If you just Google Social Justice Whatever video, and it's I remember when I showed it to you for the first time, Devin, you said, "Wow, this literally has everything."
Oh yeah, no, I don't think he skipped a beat, man.
It's comforting because all of these old memes and references, at this point, they've been gone for so long that they become nostalgic in a weird way. But there actually is some sort of story to be told there between all of the Rebecca Black samples and the YTM&D samples and the YouTube poop samples. There's some sort of heartfelt story to be told there. So that one's really been growing on me.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and do my favorite album to actually just segue off of that. We'll get back to it because okay. my favorite album of the year was also a meme album.
Oh yeah,
not so much a meme album, but
was it Hyperlight Drifter?
Hyperlight Drifter OST is not a meme album.
Okay.
It's a video game soundtrack, and it's not at all memes, even a little bit. I don't know where you got that idea from.
You seem to get really offended by that statement.
I mean, I just don't understand why you think it's a meme album. It's just like a soundtrack. My favorite album of the year was actually Mouth Moods by Cicierega.
Oh yeah. Did that come out this year?
That came out this year, and I have probably listened to it 400 times.
Oh yeah, huh? Yep, January 23rd, 2017. Just snuck in there at the beginning.
Yeah. If you don't know about this guy or this album, Mouth Sounds was his first album in this trilogy. It came out in 2014, and it's a mashup album that pairs top 40 hits of the 80s and 90s with Smash Mouth's All-Star. Not all of the tracks are All-Star mashups, but a good amount of them are. And months later, he released Mouth Moods.
Mouth Silence.
Mouth Silence, which took the idea to a whole new level. It seemed like the first album was like a fun meme joke, but the second one I think he took more seriously. It's still hilarious, but like the quality for me is just so much better. And unlike Mouth Sounds and Mouth Silence, there's no all star in this album, but there's a lot of like fun Easter eggs like referencing the song if you keep an eye out for it. And then Mouth Moods came out this year, and I was so hyped for it, and it did not disappoint. It's like definitely my favorite out of the three. It's like this fantastic journey through the best songs of the 20th and 21st centuries. There's some return to the All Star song, but the biggest recurring element is 1 week by Bare Naked Ladies, and you'll get
It's
no
banned.
complaints from me about that one. It's banned.
I remember when you visited and we were going to Dresden and Amsterdam. Like, I don't think there went more than like 5 minutes apart without one of us just
was
going,
referencing that song.
"It's banned."
It's such a clever album, and I went back to it more than any other album this year for sure. Like, I'm really glad I grew up when I did, because it's definitely an experience that you have to be the right age to appreciate.
Yeah,
If
that's
you're at least 20 years old, I highly recommend you listening to this. I think my favorite track is Smooth, which is a mashup of Smooth Criminal and 1 week by Bare Naked Ladies,
of
and
course.
Smooth by Santana.
Oh,
And
perfect.
I'm gonna put a little clip of it in here right now.
Just like the ocean under the moon. Same as the emotion that I get from Harrison Ford. You got the kind of love that can be so smooth. Yeah. Give me your heart, make it real, or else forget about it. Oh, let's don't forget about it. Give me your heart, make it real, let's don't forget about it. Harrison Ford, let's don't forget.
So that was my favorite track off of the Mouth Moods album. Yeah. So what's some more of your favorites, Bud?
Well, on Mouth Moons, I just want to say I have not listened to Mouth Moons all the way through. I have
Oh,
listened.
oh, dude!
I have listened to Mouth Sounds and Mouth Silence all the way
Please.
through, and they are both fantastic. So I don't have any doubt that Mouth Moods would be phenomenal. It's again just one of those things I just haven't given the time yet.
Yeah,
So
do it.
I'll do that later today. Um, just one more shout out for a runner up before I get to my favorite. I don't know. I don't think you're very well versed in this, Devin, but this year I have really grown and learned to love and appreciate PC music. And PC Music is a music label, and what they focus on is like this magnification, like this hyper magnification of modern pop music.
Okay.
So it's all really self-aware and it's really poppy. They have artists like GFOTY, AG Cook, Hannah Diamond, Lil Data, and it's either PC music's just one of those things where it's like you get it or you don't get it. I personally really don't think you would enjoy most of the output.
Oh well. Okay.
Devin,
Thanks.
it doesn't seem really be your cup of tea, but from PC Music came the album GFOTY Bucks by GFOTY, and that has been getting serious play from me. It's this British girl called GFOTY, and she sings about parties and going to the club and drinking, but it's done in this weird, like, self-aware way, and
Sure.
the instrumentation and the production is so it's really bubbly, but it's also really jarring, and it's challenging. Like
Hmm.
I played it in the car for one of my friends, and someone said like this is unaccessible, which is which is weird because it's still basically pop music, but just something about it I like pop music, and I really enjoy it if I find the production really intriguing, and that's what I like about GFOTY and by an extension PC Music. But when I was trying to think about my album of the year, I decided I was going to go by what have I listened to the most above all else. And for me, that would be the 2017 newest Beck album, Colors.
Oh man, that was really great.
And it was kind of a bummer for me because like I mean, most notably from Anthony Fantano, he really did not like the album. He gave it a real
Guess
scathing
what? I don't care
review.
what Anthony Fantano thinks
And I've
about it.
seen a lot of other reviewers really shit on it, and like I can see where they're coming from with it being really accessible. It's easily, and I've grown up with Beck. I love all of Beck's albums. He's very varied in his style, in his genres, and easily this is Beck's most pop-oriented
Sure.
album. And yeah, there's some kind of
You hear these
predictable.
tracks on the radio, which hasn't, I feel like Beck music hasn't been on the radio in a good minute.
I mean, the only time you're ever hearing Beck music on the radio if it's like Devil's Haircut
Yeah,
or
the old
Loser.
stuff, yeah.
Or Loser, yeah. But
90s
yeah, I heard a
hits.
song from this album at my local gas station just the other day. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's nice. But
It's very good. It's very feel good music, and it's a blast. I don't know. I love it too.
it's very optimistic, and like
Yeah.
people are like, oh, Beck's just being lazy, like doing this easy pop shit. And I'm like, no, like
You know,
Beck's
I
gonna
just
Beck's gonna do whatever the fuck that Beck wants to do, and if he wanted to make a pop album, I mean, I respect him as an artist, and I really tried to examine this album without like my fanboy nostalgia Beck glasses on, and at the end of the day, I still just thoroughly enjoy it. Like you can bounce along to it, and sing
yeah.
along to it in the car. It just makes me feel good, and I think that's enough criteria for to make it my album of the year.
It's so unfair, and it makes me so angry when people say things like, this isn't the blank we know and love. This is, oh, they sold out. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, this isn't just an artist. This is a person.
Yeah.
Let them make the music they want to make. If they want to make something completely different than what they're used to making, let them experiment. Let them have fun. Like, and that kind of leads into what my other favorite album is of this year, and that was In Tongues
Oh,
by Joji.
oh, oh! I was gonna say Justice. I thought it was gonna be the Justice album.
Woman was really good. I'd been waiting a very long time for it. It didn't disappoint me. I do like it a lot, and that's another artist where people are like, "Oh, Justice's first album was the best." I miss when they were just electronic. They took this more poppy route or whatever you want to say about it, and it's like, just listen to it as it is. Like, don't think about their other. I know it's hard not to, but like, people say it about the Daft Punk album too. It's just like, just enjoy it for what it is.
Either enjoy it or don't. Like
Or just don't.
or just
That's
don't.
fine, but don't not enjoy it because you're not willing to give it a chance, or because it's not like their first album. Like, don't enjoy it because it's not your thing. Like, I get that. If
Yeah.
you only like electronic music, then fine, I get that. But anyway, I really liked In Tongues by Joji.
Got him.
Yeah, if you don't know, you may know George Miller as his YouTube personality, Filthy Frank. He's been doing his comedy channel on YouTube for almost 10 years.
It's Filthy Frank,
Filthy
motherfucker.
Frank. He was the creator of the Harlem Shake video, and almost definitely responsible for that track blowing up the way it did. He's been dabbling in music apparently before he even started doing his YouTube career. His first official release was as Pink Guy, which was mostly a meme rap album, just like, really filthy stuff like his channel. I'm not that. I like Filthy Frank a lot. I am not huge on the Pink Guy album. Like, it's fine. But this year he released a more seriously toned EP in an interview, he said, "I've always wanted to make normal music. I started the YouTube channel to kind of bump my music, but then Filthy Frank and Pink Guy ended up getting way bigger than I thought, so I just kind of rolled with it. But just recently, he stated that he's done with comedy and he's ready to focus on his music career more than anything. And I think his EP probably went over really well and encouraged him to be able to focus on what makes him happy. Apparently, the comedy stuff just wasn't satisfying him, and this is more of his true passion. And I think it's really good. I don't think it's mind blowing. I don't think it's like the greatest thing ever, but I do really like this album. It's kind of slow and depressing. So if you're not into that, maybe don't. But it's short. So, check it out, give it a shot. I think it's good mood music. It's good to just kind of have on, like, on the train or, just
Yeah,
kind of have it on while you're working or something. I really enjoy it. I think it's a really good album.
I listened to it a couple times, and I mean that kind of like lo-fi kind of stuff isn't normally the sort of thing I'm into, but I did find myself coming back to the album a couple of times. It's just it's I guess it's just nice. It's
It's
just it.
good and it is deep and I kind of, when you listen to the lyrics, I resonate with what he's saying and I feel him and I feel that he's really put his soul into it. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed Filthy Frank's YouTube channel for the most part. Like he was pretty funny and I enjoyed his rants about weeaboos and Pokemon Go, but you can tell like this is really something he's putting his soul into. So yeah, my favorite track is Will He, which is the first track on the album.
Yeah, it's
And
mine too.
I'm gonna play a little bit of that here.
Cause I don't blame ya. Cause I don't need to know. I just wanna make sure you're okay. I don't need to know. I just wanna make sure you're all safe.
Yep, so that was Will He off of the Joji in Tongues album. Go check it out if you enjoyed that. And that's my favorites. What else you got for me?
That was pretty much it. I was gonna say, I really loved Spring Rain by Daniel Saylor, but that
I did too, man.
might have been a little nepotism,
If you don't know,
nepotistic.
you probably do, but if you don't know, Max runs a music label called Bedlam Tapes. And yeah, I really enjoyed Daniel Saylor's album as well. He used to be known as Windows 98 and do more like vaporwave trap kind of stuff, and I really loved those as well. So,
It's funny, kind of going along with the theme of people like just doing the things that they want to do, like with Joji and
yeah,
Beck, and it's like
yeah,
he Daniel got really disenfranchised with the vaporwave scene, as did I and lots of other people,
me too.
and he wanted to get past that and make music under his own name. And I'm really proud of the guy for what I'm friends with him, and I think he's just phenomenal. I just
He's a
think
good guy.
he's such a
Shout
fucking
outs to Danny.
talented artist. And again, I don't want to spend too much time on it because it is my own label and I might be a little biased, but it was the first album on Bedlam Tapes that we put out on vinyl.
It's a
They're
really
still
pretty vinyl. I have it.
it's bright red. They're still available if you want to check the link that's on the
Cool.
screen right now. But yeah,
It's
that's
just a really nice vinyl to just have on while I'm like doing stuff, like I'm doing chores or working or something, like just like having it on. Of course, then like every 10 minutes I have to flip it over, but it's good. I enjoy it. It's one of
uh,
those it's one of those like albums that I want to have on vinyl because it just sounds right on vinyl. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? It just has that vinyl sound where it's just like it feels good with like the kind of noise coming from the machine and the kind of crackling and it just makes me feel good.
It is. Vinyl's a fun thing to collect, and it's expensive and kind of an upkeep, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, this is nice to own. This is
Yeah,
nice to have. I have the,
exactly.
especially when it's an album you really like and you can hold up and feel this cover and look at it while the record's spinning. It's just one of those things that's a good feeling.
Yeah, and that's my last thing I wanted to give a shout out to was like for Christmas, I got two really big vinyls that I'd been wanting so bad from im8bit.com, I think it is. And they're like these big collector's edition ones where like I'm not usually going to spend $75 to $80 on something like this. But if somebody else will buy it for me, I'm all for it. So, my wife's mom kind of asked me like if there was anything I wanted for Christmas, and I was like, "Get me one of these if you want." And she got me two of them, and I was blown away. I got the Res Infinite vinyl collection, which is awesome and has like an art book and everything all in one. It's really nice. And the Hyperlight Drifter soundtrack, which is not a meme album, for the record. And it has like all these really pretty different colored vinyls, and it's really cool. Shout out to Disaster Piece. I don't know I think this came out in 2017, but that's also one of my favorite albums, the Hyperlight Drifter soundtrack. Also a really fun game. So yeah, is that it?
I think that wraps it up. 2017 in the bag.
That was a blast, man. Yeah, those are the only important things about 2017. Nothing else stood out.
Nothing else happened.
Nothing else mattered. Yeah.
Besides those albums and those movies and those TV shows and those games.
And getting to visit you in Germany, and that's it. So 2017 was great. Everyone else are talking about.
Everyone else in the world is so happy and satisfied with how just the state of how everything is going.
I don't know why people say it was a bad year. I thought it was fantastic.
I did great.
Can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3.
I got a lot of followers on Twitter, so things are looking good on that front.
Well, let's give it up to 2018, which is probably going to be the final year, and let's hope that we go out with a bang.
I'm praying for nuclear holocaust. I think that'd be the way to go.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Virtual Lounge. It's been really fun.
It's been
really fun recording these, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. Please smash that subscribe button and send us a comment down below if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, or if you just want to discuss any of these topics that we talked about today. Take care, everyone.
Have a good 2018, and I hope it's slightly less shit.
All right, guys. See ya. Catch you next time on the virtual lounge. Virtual lounge.
Bye.
Bye.